Graham Rawlins with News Geelong. The City of Greater Geelong Major Events has again put Geelong on the national calendar with the announcement that the 2012 Australian Chess Championships will be held in our great city. The Beckley Centre had its grand opening last Friday night to stamp it as the finest greyhound racing facility in Australia. And later in the program, the Flying Hawk, Nathan Curry, brings us the action-packed world of Geelong sport, and sparkling Lani Salathiel will update us on the week of weather that lies ahead. The vibe, the style, the food are all part of the Groove Train and its continued mission to raise funds to help feed the less fortunate in our community. Ian Nichols reports.
This is the Groove Train restaurant in the heart of Geelong, where there's a very special launch tonight of a community initiative. It follows the annual general meeting of the Geelong Chamber of Commerce, who are supporting Feed Geelong. It's a very ambitious project, and key organisers of this are Angelo Koukouris and Marcus Godino.
Oh, look, I'm very excited when Tony from the Groove Train introduced Marcus to the concept. I was overwhelmed, and it's going to be fantastic for the local region.
And Marcus, you're Marcus Godino with an organisation known as Fair Share. How do you get involved in something like this, such a big community enterprise?
Yep. Well, what we're doing at Fair Share is rescuing food. We're collecting food that's surplus within businesses, and then we're cooking that and giving it out to hundreds of charities in Victoria. The problem that we've found over the last couple of years is that an increasing number of businesses are donating or offering their surplus quality food to charities. But the charities don't have the fridges and freezers, the cool rooms, the food transport vehicles to make the most of that food. So Feed Geelong is about giving the charities what they need to provide food to those people in the community who are struggling with the rising cost of living.
Well, Angelo, you're in the security business. What other role will you be playing in this?
Well, I'll be taking a proactive role to encourage local businesses. I'm very active in the local community. I've been protecting it for over 20 years and involved with a number of different charities which Feed Geelong and Fair Share are going to be an enormous support to. So I'll be out there lobbying hard and just addressing the issues of the local community and trying to help them as best as possible.
Well, Marcus, you mentioned you're not actually looking for money. You already have the food. It's just a matter of getting it to those who are most in need.
Absolutely. Well, with the rising costs of living, what we're finding is that families are increasingly turning to charities. And traditionally, charities have helped people such as the homeless, maybe new Australians, unemployed, but increasingly they're finding and saying to us that it's people with a roof over their heads. They've got a job, but they're just struggling to cover all their bills and then have enough money left over for food.
Yes, I think this is a great initiative, and as we all know, it's tough times out there for many families, and we think the business community is willing to help. It's more about finding the mechanism to do so, and this Feeding Geelong project, we think, can be that enabler to provide a more efficient way to help those in need.
Well, from the reaction tonight, it looks like it's well and truly up and running.
Yes, I believe so. I think this is very well organised. I know there's a lot of good intent out there, but sometimes you need the experience and the know-how to do that. And Marcus this evening, our guest, explained how that might occur. And I think they've got a good program organised with great support from people like the Geelong Advertiser and the Chamber of Commerce and local businesses. And I think we can make this a success.
At the Groove Train restaurant Geelong for the launch of Feed Geelong, this is Ian Nichols for News Geelong.
Thank you, Ian. The thinking man's game of chess is played all over the world and is organised by different chess federations from Albania to Zambia. Next year, Geelong will host the Australian Chess Federation National Championships, as Meryl Friend reports.
The announcement was made on Tuesday this week at the Sphinx for the latest event to be held in Geelong. It is the Australian Chess Championships, the first time ever being held in Geelong here at the Sphinx. And that will bring 200 to 300 people to the city of Greater Geelong with a new wonderful event.
It's a great thing, Meryl. You know, the last time they were held in Victoria was some 10 years ago at the Melbourne Town Hall. They're out here at the Sphinx. George Romeo's, been kind enough to, put his venue forward. They come to Geelong major events for some assistance in funding, and we're only too happy to look after them because this is this is going to bring some 200 to 300 people to Geelong. It adds to the overstay, the bed nights in Geelong, and it gives us an opportunity to showcase Geelong to some people that might not normally be here. So that's what Geelong major events does, and it's a great thing. Chess, a couple hundred people.
Yeah, it's fantastic news. First time for the last 10 years, Australian Championship finally coming to Victoria and to an excellent venue like Geelong. We're all very excited, and we would like to see many people will be playing in the Australian Championship, which is the best tournament in Australia. We are holding this championship every 2 years, and I repeat again, Geelong now in the illustrious company of many places around Australia who are going to host such a fantastic event.
Yes, it is the first time. The Geelong Chess Club has been around for many years, and they have a long tradition, but they have not ever hosted a national chess championship, and this will be their first occasion. So they're pretty happy about it, and we're very happy to see that it's being held in a place where it hasn't been before, spreading the word.
And Geelong's beaten Sydney was also up for bidding.
There was an alternative, but it has been held more recently in Sydney, so all other things being equal, Geelong had the advantage there. But also they had a wonderful bid, a contribution of $10,000 from the Greater Events organisation here in Geelong, which greatly appreciated, of course, and some other contributors as well.
Very exciting for all of us. I think we've long wanted it to be in Victoria, let alone somewhere a bit unusual rather than Melbourne, where it's been the last several times. So Geelong's a good venue. I've won 5 over the past. Well, the first time I won it was in 1984. So that's, by my reckoning, that's 28 years ago. I could be wrong.
No, I'm sure you're right. Now we've seen you there. You're playing simultaneously with several people. What sort of mental stress does that create?
Oh, it's a bit frivolous because it's not particularly difficult to play against inexperienced players. Most of these are club players in this sort of format, but it looks very good. It looks impressive. Even I'm impressed.
Here at the Sphinx, Meryl Friend, News Geelong.
Thank you, Meryl. That's checkmate. This is News Geelong, Wednesday edition, as we go to a break and return with more news after this.